This video is brought to you by me. For $1 a month, you can support the channel directly and help me keep doing what I love. Thanks for watching and supporting.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Ugly Brown Table. It's been a minute since I've been here. That's because I've pretty much moved all of my extra content like this to my Patreon. That's not really the point. I did want to do a follow-up to last year's Retroid Pocket 2 review, kind of first impressions thing, because this year I bought the Indigo version of the Retroid Pocket 2 Plus. Now, it looks very similar to the original model. I might have some video going over it to show you the comparisons because I have recorded something like this before, but that video is not going to be shown because of reasons I'll get to in just a second. So about a month ago, like right before Christmas, I think the week of Christmas, this Retroid Pocket 2 Plus showed up in this box. It's a very simple box compared to last year, very little inside of it. It's the Indigo one. And I took it out and I was really excited to get like a first impressions thing going. I did a setup on camera, and honestly, that video wasn't very good because of things that I wasn't super aware of before. First of all, I said some things were broken that weren't actually broken. For instance, like on the original Retroid Pocket 2, this light turned on when you were like powering on the system, and it would stay on to show that power was going through it. That's no longer the case. It's just a charging LED. So I didn't want to put a video out saying things were broken that were actually working as intended. The major differences between this and the old Retroid Pocket 2 are the buttons and the D-pad. They're all rubber membrane buttons. They're no longer like clicky dome switches inside on the board. This is a huge improvement that I was excited about. I didn't think it was going to be that big of a change, but oh my god, in practice, these are game-changing. This system feels infinitely better to play, and I didn't even really have an issue with the first one, but it is a substantial upgrade. I'm going to get into some gameplay in a little bit, but I just wanted to say, like, the physical changes are minor, but they make a huge difference. However, I took a while to get this video out because while in the initial video there were some things that I was wrong about not working, I realized pretty quickly that my HDMI port wasn't working at all. So the original Retroid Pocket 2 was very plug and play. You just plug it in, it exports to the TV, super simple, super easy. And when I plugged this in, the screen would like wobble and it would get all wavy, and then it would just freeze. And after some back and forth with Retroid Customer Service, they ended up sending me a brand new board. This is the old board. I already replaced it. I wanted to make sure before I made this video that the new board worked. But I wanted to get into the fact that the reason I like Retroid is their customer service. If you buy something on AliExpress and it's defective, it's a bit hit and miss when you're working with products that are dropshipped like that. Retroid is a company that makes their own product. They have customer service, and to me, like, that is the real game changer. Because with the New Year's rush and everything, it did take a little while to get back. But they got back. I just sent them video proof of it not working. They sent me a new board. It took a little bit of time to get here. No big deal. But I just wanted to say, like, working with them was really easy. However, I got this new board. I took it apart, put it back together, no problem. However, this may not be the case for everybody. If you have an issue with Retroid and they send you a new board, if you don't have the confidence or the tools or the know-how to, like, take things apart, you might have some struggles, you know? I don't want to say, like, get a Retroid because their customer service is great. I think it's great, but I'm a tinkerer. Like, this is very much a tinkering device, and I still, like, as you can probably see on the seams right here, I used the softest plastic spudger I could to, like, take apart the console, and even then, it's, like, it's kind of nicked up, you know? So even me, who's somebody who takes apart consoles all the time, puts them back together, this wasn't a complete product. And I want to say that maybe I got an outlier, or maybe I just got an inconsistent, things happen. Like defects happen. People get like the 1 in a million thing that doesn't work, right? But one thing that also comes with Retroid is a very strong open community. And when people have issues, there's more than enough people willing to like help you out. And that's really cool. However, with the Retroid Pocket 2, I don't know if it was rush or just constraints because of the pandemic going on or what, but there seemed to be quite a bit of defects from the factory. There's a lot of light bleed on a lot of people's things, on a lot of people's screens from like screws being too tight and like putting pressure on the back of the screen and like smushing it. On a couple of the models, it seems to be like the painted buttons. The buttons will get stuck because they're a little bit thicker than the holes because of the paint, although in some cases I've seen that it's maybe not the paint, it's just an inconsistency. I've seen issues of analog sticks not working out of the box. It's a little bit disappointing, I'm not going to lie, because the Retroid Pocket 2 was such a clean, easy to like get into system that everything you had to tinker with was very software related, which comes with this kind of thing. I mean, this runs Android, so it's not just like it's not like other emulator boxes that just run like emulation software right on the front end. This is like Android based, so it's very it involves a lot more tinkering to get stuff working. Now, again, this is me. I knew kind of the risks of pre-ordering a console like this, but I didn't expect so many hardware defects. And you can kind of tell that the company is realizing some of these defects before, because while they sent me a new board, there are some components on here that look a little bit different. Like for instance, right here, there's this little gap on the SD card slot. And when I put in my SD card slot, I realized pretty quickly that if I didn't put it in perfectly, I could lose the SD card inside of the body of the system. But now on the new board, they've actually added a plastic tab that keeps it like straight on to the SD card slot, so you can't accidentally lose the SD card in the system anymore. This is the vibrating motor right here. I initially thought on the new board that they sent me it didn't have a vibrating motor, but they've actually changed the motor to be a lot smaller and more compact. So instead of having wires that go right here, it's just connected right here at these solder points, and it vibrates from here. It's like minor things like that, but you can tell that as they're getting these out there, they're still tweaking the software. So you might have... The longer you wait, you probably have a better chance of getting a better product. Like, just the fact that I got a board that's different enough after 1 month proves that they're still tweaking this. And I think that's interesting, but it also doesn't make me feel confident in saying you should go out and buy this, because if you got the first one and you had a defect and you reach out to them and they send you new stuff to fix it with, it's very DIY. Again, it's not as simple as it was for the first Retroid Pocket 2. Like, it really isn't. However, once you get past that, I actually have played this thing a lot, even with the broken board. Everything else was pretty much functional. So I ended up playing a lot of games, and when I tell you, the emulation on this system is unbelievable. Like, this is like a $99 emulation box that punches well above its weight. I was blown away last year by the Retroid Pocket 2. The N64 support last year was great. It is superb here. Last year, somebody said that I was complaining too much about Conker's Bad Fur Day not working. I just thought it was important to mention it. But it runs no problem on here. I'll even show some footage rolling to show you something directly captured from here. PS1 has been great. I use the EPSXE emulator. That's a few bucks from the Google Play Store. Added some official BIOS, and it runs like a dream. even GameCube, which is something that like I expected to have a little bit of support, the community and Retroid itself have software patches and like custom Dolphin emulator settings that like really squeeze all the juice it can out of this. Obviously, you're not going to get the full library, but it is almost a bit astonishing how many games on the GameCube you can play, and even a few PS2 games. I didn't even think PS2 was feasible in any possible way coming into this. And there's already people getting like Persona 4 running, Persona 3 running. Like, obviously, it may not work for more action-oriented, heavy-duty games, but there is a community spreadsheet that everybody's trying different settings, and when they find something that works, they put it on the settings spreadsheet. And so it's this huge like collective effort to get as many things running on this as possible, and it's honestly fun to be a part of for me because I like tinkering, and having to set up individual settings for every game is something I don't mind doing, because if I can do it, it'll squeeze more and more out of this. But just like last year, this is not a plug-and-play system. And I think that's still something that you have to realize when you come into a Retroid. It's not something you just load ROMs on and go. It's going to involve some more elbow grease. And I don't think that's going to change anytime soon, because to me, the Android operating system is a double-edged sword. The Android operating system on this is a lot better. It's a lot smoother. It's a lot newer too. So you got more app support. And I think that's really game-changing, because it's also more secure. So you can just log into the Google Play Store, download your apps, and not have to worry about the fact that you're running like 5-year-old software. It's really good on here, but it also comes with the territory of having to take out the wrench and start like tweaking stuff to get working. But besides that, like, I'll just show you some gameplay, and I'll just show you how really blown away I am with this console and how amazing it's been. So without any further ado, here's like a sizzle reel of everything going on with that.
A frying pan. You stupid little... Whoa.